Steve. I'm getting on.
Got it.
So is that, did you just log on as Steve?
I think I might have. I'm not sure now.
Okay, yeah, that's what happened. Not a problem. And so we're ready to rock and roll. Facebook, YouTube is coming up. Let me hold on just a second, Steve. There we go. And so, yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. And so let's get ready to rock and roll then. Hi, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn. I need to start the recording. There we go. Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the first full week of the market for October 2020. A lot of people out there are sitting there going, oh my gosh, I'll be glad when 2020 is over with. But the fact of the matter is we still got about 2.5 months to go in the year of 2020. And I think there's a lot of projection where the last part of this year, the last quarter of this year could be quite, extreme from an aspect of our earnings. And so we want to get ready for that. And so we want to welcome you. We've got a lot of stuff to get to. Steve's got a couple of really great stocks to show us. Want to remind you that what we do is for training purposes, and that here's where we're sitting. I'm sitting there. The active trend trading system is up a little bit, almost 55% for the year. And as you can see, 54.47. I'm very pleased with that. We reduced our strategies this year down to just 2. We're following that and then implemented also the top 5 Power Rank Elite AutoPilot trading system, which has done very well. But as you can see, how are we comparing with the rest of the market? NASDAQ up almost 34% for the year. The Dow just came back into the green for the year. I think basically that's the first time that it's been back in the green almost all year. Russell still showing a little bit of weakness, but it has been gaining very rapidly also. Quite pleased with that. And then basically we're going to jump in and start looking at the individual indexes and the stocks that Steve picked. And I've got one I'll just throw out there for you to take a look at. Remember what we do is we provide traders with top-notch market analysis every week so they can basically take timely and actionable intel that clarifies, simplifies trading decisions so that, my objective and my goal is for people to multiply profits and minimize risk. The market this week, it is actually a stock picker's market. What I mean by saying that is that you have to plan your entries around support and your exits around resistance. Take the profits quickly and take your losses even quicker to get set up for the next play. Trade the chart that's in front of you is the bottom line. So we'll get into here. And now let's go over and look at some charts. That's what we're here for. Okay. So let's go over and jump on make sure I'm looking at the right one. Okay, yeah, I am. SPY. What is the SPY doing for us and or to us? I'll basically turn that off. There we go. As you can see, we are basically kind of just busting back up. We've got the S&P on a very nice tear up to the upside. It is approaching resistance that is defined by 2 different things. One, the upper 2 ATR Keltner channel, and also look to your left, this level of resistance here that it broke through just about where it's at up to the 350 level. We are getting a little bit extended away from the moving averages, so it would not be a surprise to get some kind of a pullback back into the moving averages. However, it could be a very short-lived pullback. And if I look over here on the weekly chart, let me grab my pointer. There we go. As you can see, if I look here towards the midsection of that candlestick right there, that puts us down towards where the 8-day moving average will be on towards the, into next week. And so we can look at a pullback here and a bounce higher. If we get a pullback, bounce higher, we also have to look over here. If it's contained within this past high, that could result in basically a double top type procedure, and then a fall back down. Or we get a push up, break out, pull back to the new support, and then a move higher from there. And so if the market, and I think part of it depends on what's going on with the indexes, or not the indexes, but with the election, and just, I'm looking at things, unfortunately, getting really, really ugly within, over the next 4 weeks before, up and moving into the election. And so I don't know how that's going to drive the market. But we did see this week where Tuesday was the day when President Trump said, nope, we're not going to do a deal for the stimulus. The next couple of days, they changed their mind on that, and the market has taken off and rallied. Now, is this a solid rally, or is it basically a wistful type rally that is not based on real true value? To me right now, it's looking like more of a news-driven event, but at the same time, you don't want to argue with the chart that's in front of you. And right now, the charts in front of us is saying, hey, I'm pushing up. I like, if I'm going to trade something to the long side, I'm going to look to trade the Qs and or IWM, the NASDAQ and or IWM. Where do I want to trade it at? I wanted to trade it against either the, where's it getting support? It's getting its long-term support from the 8, the 20, and the 34. What does that mean? I'm looking for, and oftentimes when we get a breakout like this, isn't it kind of cool that it worked its way down the trend line? We got a breakout on Wednesday, and now it has moved higher. It is not unusual for, if we're going into a larger term trend, is to basically at some point get some kind of a pullback towards the breakout area, okay, this downtrend line, for the price action to what they call kiss the trend goodbye, and then bounce higher and go up. Again, I like the Qs to the upside. Really nice, strong looking chart here over here on the weekly chart. And we've had, similar to the S&P, look for resistance, but it's got, 15 points, almost 18 points to go before it hits the resistance of the past high. IWM. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. IWM, what that's looking at is one, really nice breakout, back above a level of support. And so now that we've broken out of this level of support, watch for any kind of pullback back into this area, about the 159 or 160 level, for a potential bounce off of there. So we've had a breakout. Look for a retest of the breakout, and that would be a great trigger to get into a longer term trade on the S&P. Eric says it would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice if you could show up a cup and handle there, but we'll see what transpires here. So nice looking chart. We have the TSI turning up. We have the market forecast turning up on the weekly chart. Normally that is a sign of really good strength. And we have both the TSI and the market forecast on the weekly chart also up in the upper level. Now, while this is an upper reversal level, it does not mean we're going to reverse and fall from the sky. We have the Russell, as reflected here in the IWM, has gotten itself back in gear. So I'm going to be looking for additional upside. But my pullbacks will basically, I'll define where I expect things to pull back and then try to trade against that. So Steve, that's what I've got for the indexes. A little bit extended, looking for a pullback to basically, I'm looking for upside trades.
Yep, sounds good. I agree with you completely. I love that the IWM is leading the way. It's risk on. The market's bullish. I take all setups when they occur.
Right on.
Yeah.
So which stock do you want me to show first?
Adobe, I guess.
Okay.
I think Adobe is poised for a move. It's been in a relatively long-term trend. It's got an upsloping 50. It's been hugging the 50 for a while and looks like it's starting to move.
This
So
is good.
expect
Yeah.
some upside movement from here on out. You can take the trade today or wait till Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have no problem taking a trade basically towards the close today,
Yes.
even though we are, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now this is where technique comes into play. Steve's absolutely right. I like the wait till Monday approach simply because I would be looking for a little bit of a pullback back into today's candlestick to get in for a little bit better price because but then what could happen is, on the flip side of this, is that it could gap up from here and it's off to the races. So what are we looking at? We've got a.
I would take at least a partial position today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a very important thing. I'm trying to get there we go. Yeah, I'm looking at a range today of about $9. And so, yeah, Adobe looks pretty good. I did a trade in my own account on Adobe this past week with doing some experimenting with a put credit spread, and it worked out very, very well.
Yeah.
I did a
And
$5.
that'll be another one way to trade it, either straight calls or bull puts. Yeah.
Yep. And so I did. Yeah, that's what I did. I did a put credit spread, and made a credit of about $1.30 on it, maybe a little bit more, and basically started peeling off the profits today on that. So that looks pretty good. Hey, David, how you doing? Gap and go. Yep, could be that. Could be. I can see that happening. Just gapping up here and going. But Adobe's looking really good going in next week. We're past earnings. And then what's the other ones you had there, Steve?
I had JD.com. JD is the symbol.
JD. Now JD
it's a little bit extended today. I would wait for a pullback.
Okay.
Next week.
Now JD is a Chinese company, yes?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's the Amazon of
okay.
It's an Amazon-like company in China.
That's what I understand. Now, is everybody trading Chinese? I know there's some folks that are sitting there going, I don't want to trade Chinese companies just for various reasons. I know I think it was Eric, you put out a really good list of Chinese companies. You basically said, I'm not going to trade them. I think is that still your position on the Chinese companies? I'm putting you on the spot now.
It is. I don't want to support communism, so that's my approach anyways.
Roger that. And being the patriot that, and also, everybody has to come up with their own decision, because I tell you, I've been watching JD, I've been watching Baba, and boy, they're putting in some really great patterns.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sitting there going, there are really other great stocks also to trade, but as Steve was saying, nice setup, moving back up. The other one that I'll just throw out here that's kind of a fun stock, we've been trading this for quite a while, is DocuSign.
Docu, yeah.
And
I agree with you. Docu is excellent. I just got into it a few days ago.
Yeah. And so DecuSign, Decadent, okay, whatever. I really like the pullback back into the 8, but also it's got this breakout area that it's really been flirting with. And so for the people who are taking the top, Power Ranked Elite Top 5 Autopilot Trading System Challenge, as you know, we jumped into a trade when it pulled down to that level there. We talked about it in our live session on that challenge. And so I'm liking it, but it hasn't exploded yet. And so we'll see what happens. I mean, I still think it's gathering strength, and it's tracking to the upside. So I'm watching for any kind of pullback back into either the 8 and or the 20. Could get all the way back into the 50, but the 50 is starting to slope up. So I'm watching for that to happen.
Agree completely. And Zoom also is looking nice.
Yep. So, okay, guys, that basically, let's go ahead and just thank you, Steve, for those two great
Welcome.
stocks. I mean,
Thank you.
they are really, they really look good. And yeah, there it is. And so we'll look for that, something to happen with those next week. I don't think there's anything really shaken next week regarding anything in the financial area. I don't know when the next Fed meeting is, but let's move on out. And just a real quick question for everybody.
Earnings will start next week with the
Yes.
banks. Then.
Yep, earnings starting in next week. In seriousness, one of the things that I really continue to hammer in on is learn to focus on the process. The profits will follow. That continues to be the best advice I can give for right now. My question for this week is, do you use hard stops on all trades? Yes or no? You just put that into the comments and or on the chat board. And if you do use, you use stops occasionally, hard stops, what percentage of the time do you usually do that? Thank you, Barbara. Good to see you. Good to see you. That when your son gets back on Oahu. Sometimes. And what percentage of the time? I basically use hard stops about 95% of the time. And dadgummit, in Murphy's Law in trading, what tends to happen is the trades that I don't use my stops on are the ones that get whacked to the downside. And so anyway, what a pain in the butt. So anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, please put in your information your answer in the comment section. And remember, if you're looking on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell for new videos that we do put out on a regular basis. And hey, I want to invite you to come fly with us. The AutoPilot trading system has been doing exceptionally well. Every week you will get 5 fresh stocks to basically jump on board. And along with the entry information, the profit information, or where to take profits, profit levels, and also the stop loss information. So it's basically clearly being able to put a trade on autopilot, and on Sunday night, let it work out through the rest of the week and process from there. But if you want more information on it, you can either send me an email or just go here to activetrendtrading.com/top 5. So that's it for today. I hope you have a absolutely fabulous weekend. So from our home to yours, aloha, trade well and prosper. And this is what the desolate beach in Hawaii looks like, although they have started letting people back on the beach again, which is good. More than a couple of people. And so again, subscribe, hit the bell, and the next video will be coming up right there. So Steve, thanks for all your help, buddy. And
you're welcome, Dennis. My pleasure.
And just everybody else, God bless. We look forward to chatting more in the very near future. Aloha. God bless.